Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get into our guest tonight, I got to give a quick shout out to a couple sponsors here. First, we're going to go with golfercbd.com. Make sure you guys check out golfercbd.com. Use promo code PPP10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. They have a bunch of different options to offer. They have the topicals, the recovery cream, and the performance cream. They also have the gummies, the performance spray. So definitely go and check them out. Golfercbd.com. So the topicals are really their big thing right now. I've been using the performance cream and the recovery cream lately, and it's been working wonders. It's truly a game changer with the patented delivery technology. They are strokes ahead of the competition, delivering 10 times more CBD, directly to the muscles, joints than the traditional balms and other creams. The Golfer CBD topicals are easy to apply on the course, absorb quickly, and do not leave any sticky residue, making them a perfect addition to every golfer's golf bag. So make sure you throw them in the golf bag. You definitely find it beneficial out there on the golf course. The gummies as well. Excuse me. Steve and Hank are big fans of the gummies. Notice their focus is a little bit better out there when they take the gummies prior to the round. So check them out. Promo code PPP10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. Also, check out 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road, right in Walmart Plaza here in Troy, New York. Check them out online at 420-bliss.com. And they also have a new app. You can go just a little higher. Make sure you choose the 420 Bliss location. You can do everything right there. You can set up your delivery service, everything they have online, flour, pre-roll, edibles, tinctures, vapes, you name it, they have it. Go and check out 420 Bliss and let them know the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you. And then last but not least, we got Trouble Off the Tee, troubleoffthetee.com, promo code RGB for 15% off. Promo code PUFF, buy one, get one free on the polos. Make sure you take advantage of that. And then you got to go check out the book, author Marty Minden, narrated by Jake Adams from Country Club Adjacent. You can find it on Spotify as well as Audible. It's a great listen. You get through it in a couple of days. Like I always tell you guys, it's what you're listening to. It's that book you're listening to where you drive around the block a couple times just to finish that chapter. So make sure you go check out troubleoffthetee.com. Before we get into it, though, gonna bring on a guest. We're gonna have Twisted Foot, Rob and Chad from Twisted Foot. Really cool setup what those guys do. So we're gonna bring them on here in just a minute. Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. I'd like to introduce our guest tonight. We got the guys from Twisted Foot. We got Rob and Chad. Welcome to the podcast, boys.
What's going on, man?
Thanks for having us, Raj.
No, absolutely. Appreciate your time. I have one of your accessories right here for the Twisted Foot. Use it on the golf cart all the time. I was just telling you guys prior, I leave it on the golf cart quite a bit as well. So I have a good connection with the guy who does the golf carts. So every morning I got to call, hey, Aunt, cart 22 left my cartridge again. Can you go grab that for me? So it works out. But why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself and the Twisted Foot brand?
Yeah. So I used to be in advertising, but I had open heart surgery when I was 37 years old. And They said, well, you can't really drink too much anymore. And I was like, what about smoking weed? And they were like, oh, that's fine. So the first thing I did was, I got my pipe and my lighter and went to go put it out and just had a hard time doing it. So then I was like, someone should invent a ring that you slide up your lighter. And we call it a lighter charm. This one's for wild. It's also a fridge magnet.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe even a ball marker.
Yeah.
And so you can personalize, decorate your lighter however you want it. It's borosilicate, so you can snuff out your bowl. And that way it's not smoking when you're not smoking it. And that was our first patent. And then Chad, you want to take it over?
Yeah. I mean, I came from the military and prior service to Air Force. I have been in the music industry and finalized in radio. Back after I got my degree from Arizona State, I got into radio here in Colorado and immediately got into medical marijuana. This is in 2009. And it was 5 years before, official recreational out here. So when it was medical only out here. And I did retail for a decade through all of the 2014 hype and everything like that, being, one of the first markets, the first market that was kind of crushing it and doing it out here in Colorado. And stayed in doing it for about another 5 years. And that's when, I met Rob. I was a sales manager of a chain of dispensaries here in Denver called Colorado Harvest Company. Shout out CHC. Yeah, man. So he came on and came into my shop and wanted me to, take a look at his charms. And so I kind of did. I gave some of them to my bud tenders, just like I had done with, medicated and non-medicated products. And
Mm-hmm.
Rob, being the persistent salesman that he is, kind of kept following up and eventually it was a couple of months later he ended up coming back in, following up just randomly one day when I ended up being in one of the stores that I was managing. And he asked me, he was like, so what do you think about the lighter charms, man? And I was like, I'm kind of interested. I've used it, it's marked my lighter, and I have the same lighter. Like, no lighter thieves have taken mine yet. So I was like, let me take a look. So at the time I had 5 bud tenders on that were tending that day. Went through each one of them, found out that 4 out of the 5 still had their lighter charm. And 1 or 2 of them had it on a different lighter, but it had slipped from one to the next. But they still had the lighter charm with them. And I having come from radio and having done a ton of merch with bands and radio stations, and man, I gave away more apparel than I think a poor country in Africa would need, honestly. But merch is super important to be able to get your brand out. And when I saw that the stickability, the collectability that my bud tenders were displaying on this, I kind of decided timing wise it was great. And I liked the idea. At that time, Rob already had gotten 1 patent, and
just the one.
Yep, and he, so we started working out on the lighter charms, man. Since I've been in the game for a while, I've known a lot of the brands that were some of the OGs out here in the Denver market. Yeah. So on my podcast, while I was doing retail, I did a podcast as well, and I would have a bunch of the CEOs like Nancy Whiteman or Bob Esquino, Ralph Morgan, some of the ones that kind of originated Open Vape and Incredibles and Wana and stuff, and they'd come on my show and we talk weed. And so when I started showing them these little guys, there's a lot of little tchotchke things that had come through retail for the first decade I was in it. But, the stickability and the utility of this guy was kind of unmatched, and it really caught my ear, dude. So, yeah. Obviously since then we've got a couple other patents, but this was the first one.
This is like literally though, like especially with guys, people hanging around smoking. Hey, let me get that lighter real quick. This went out. Let me get the lighter real quick. And all of a sudden, when you go to spark your next joint, you're like, where the hell did that lighter go? Oh, I gave it to Johnny back we were having the sesh back there. I'm never seeing that thing again. Now you know it's yours. Now you know it's yours. So
I know that this is my Blue River Terps charm, dude. My Blue River Terps charm. Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, and then we moved on to the the vape charms that you have right there. Curaleaf Select is one of our customers, and True Leaf, their Colors brand. They've got the colored silicone. We're really seeing a lot of that now, it's always interesting about the patents, because we were like, well, there's no way we're going to get a patent on something like that. Right. It's a triangle shape with a magnet in it. How is that possible? Well, we've got, our firm is amazing, and people are always like, well, IP, you're going to get ripped off anyway. But I mean, we do think that it's important, and as the cannabis becomes more legitimate, those are going to become pretty important considerations. And the fact that they're so helpful for so many people. Really, number one, what we want to do is make your life easier, whether you vape or smoke or, anything like that. And it's for brands and fans too.
Yeah. And let alone the marketing aspect of it. Like now, like I know what Select is, but now someone could see this and ask me what Select is. And it's exactly the pens or whatever, whatever they have to offer. So there's definitely the variety of options you get from that.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win all overall. The consumers really like it because they're protecting their product. You know what I mean? That by having the magnet, you can store it upright. You know what I mean? So it basically what I say is it keeps the oil on the coil. You know what I mean? It makes it so that the coil doesn't dry out by sitting on its side or something like that. The biggest thing that used to upset me when it come to vapes is if I had it on the side, I went to hit it. I didn't wait for the oil to cover up the whole coil. I'd hit it. The oil would burn, the coil would burn, and then all of a sudden the whole flavor of my cart would be tainted. I just spent $50 or whatever on my cart,
Right.
dude, for some live. And now all I'm going to taste is like a burnt, cartridge or whatever. Especially like even these new 2-grammers that we did for the clear, like it's a whole lot of glass right here, dude. And so to be able to protect my, $75 to $100 investment from dropping or anything like that, like I know it's not going to break. But the cool thing, like you're saying, when it comes to the marketing aspect of it, like we've been doing, so you can see we've been doing QR codes on one side, man. We've been crushing it with the QR codes. Like you can track your testing on it. You can send customers to like your main page for your online ordering. There's a couple of companies that are in Oklahoma that actually have a playlist that you scan the QR code that you're supposed to listen to certain songs when you're smoking this certain strain or whatever. But the marketing aspect is silly, dude.
It actually, a dispensary chain out here called Native Roots increased their web traffic by 600% in 30 days. Not bad.
That's not bad at all.
No.
That is not bad at all.
These are all of our one-liners for you, man. We're throwing them all out there.
Right.
Hey, get them zingers in. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, because like not even that, like, so even to put the bowl out, you got the snuffer on the lighter thing, which is perfect. And then you're protecting. So like I used to have a battery that would flip upside down. So like if I had it in my pocket or something, like you were saying, oil to the coil, the thing would always be clogged. I'd have to get a toothpick or golf tee or something and try to jam it in there and make something happen out of it. And I'd be sitting there trying to hit the pen. I just want to hit it quick. I'm spending more time trying to clean the thing out than I am getting a chance to hit the thing.
Right.
So that's a big factor. And the sunlight, doesn't it? It's also protected from the sunlight from cooking it out if it's just sitting in your car or something like that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. People don't understand how easy it is for terps to get degraded, man. Like for real. So like we work with some companies in Arizona that they work all these hours to try to get their oil and their live rosin just perfected, and then they don't cover the cartridge for the consumer, and they're in Arizona 110 degree heat. You're already having a hard enough time making it so it doesn't leak out the cartridge, dude. But while it's sitting there trying to leak and all that heat, it's actually getting degraded because the sunlight's just breaking through and totally degrading all of those terps that you work so hard at. So
yeah, that's wild. That's absolutely, it's the little things people don't think of, but like that's what you think of. That little thing makes a huge, like you said though, convenience wise, just to be able to just do this, especially like if whatever I'm doing in the car, I have the little magnet thing on my car. I set it right there. I used to put my phone on there. Now I put that there. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Phone can go on the seat. But then a buddy of mine too just dropped. He just went to the dispensary, bought a brand new cartridge, spent $40-$50 or whatever it was. Had it on his lap, was arguing with his girl on the phone, hops out of the truck and drops it. So it breaks. I literally the next day, Rob, I think it was the next day I got talking to you. And then I was like, you know what? I think, because I'm sponsored by 420 Bliss, is a local dispensary here in upstate New York.
Right.
And so she gave me a little care package, and this is the Blue Select one was in there. And I was like, you know what? I think I have one of those. And then I went and I was like, yeah, I do. And then I started using it like instantly. I was like, oh, this is a great, because I honestly, at first I didn't know what it was.
Right.
Like I didn't know. I was like, oh, there's like, because there was like a bunch of keychain things and other like different variety of things. And I'm like, honestly, some of this stuff, I don't even know what the heck it is. I'll just give it away to the guys when they come on the podcast kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was my thought. I was like, they can figure out what it is. And then I seen it. I was like, this is, and I literally haven't like not used it since. So the convenience of it is definitely a huge factor.
I love to hear that.
Factor.
That's awesome.
It cracks me up. I talk to a lot of females, and they're like, I spend an hour looking for my vape pen. It ends up being lost in the couch, or it's at the bottom of their purse, and it feels like all the other pens and shit that make up things that are down there anyway. So to be able to kind of have it mounted and put where you want to, man, even having a metal coffee table in front of your TV is a game changer. Like gamers and stuff, just love it. So,
and if you don't have one, we also have these that you can mount anywhere.
I seen that. You gave me one of those as well instead of package here. Yep. So that's what I was going to ask you about that. That you just set up wherever, and it just you can mount right to it, huh?
Anything that you can stick a 3M sticky note thing to, typically, dude. Like even I've done it to corkboard. I've done it to all sorts of things. I tell everybody my wife has one on the back of the headboard, so she doesn't even have to get out of bed. If she wakes up, she can reach around the headboard, grab her indica pen, hit it a couple times, and then go back to sleep.
To sleep.
Yeah,
Man.
like the kids will be cleaning right next to the bed. They won't even know it's hanging there, dog. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Yep. And that's the other thing. You won't nothing about it. So how do you guys produce these? Do you guys make these? Do you have a company that makes these for you, obviously, or did you come up with do you do the manufacturing yourself?
Yeah, no, we have a company called Ads on Magnets. They're down in Castle Rock, Colorado. Who they're fantastic. PPAI is the world's biggest promotional products trade show. And every year they win a Golden Pyramid Award for product quality, customer service, all of that. And we're actually the only other company that they do work for. They've been around since 1976, I believe. And they're amazing people, and they know everything about magnets and silicone.
yeah, basically, if you've ever been to an Ace Hardware or a Home Depot, something like that, and there's all
Right.
those chip clips and all the different magnetic things that you can use in your garage, dude, with all your tools, most likely there's a good chance at least half of them were made by Ads on Magnets, if
Oh, no
not
shit.
more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're amazing. And man, they really have been. I don't think we've worked with any vendor who's ever been so responsive and supportive and everything. I mean, they're awesome.
We really lucked out with the manufacturing, man. Not only are they just outside of where we live at, but they've been doing it for a long time. They have a great reputation, super accessible. You know, and honestly, when I joined the company, Rob was already looking for a new manufacturer anyway. We ended up stumbling upon them, and it was perfect timing. The same sort of thing with the patent, where we got the patent with the pencil grip because they didn't want to re-up the pencil grip patent. It's the same sort of timing thing with our manufacturer. They were actually looking to kind of see what they could do in cannabis, if they could do anything in cannabis, what the possibilities were. It was the time when everybody was really starting to crank their minds as far as how they can get some of that ancillary money from, you know, cannabis. Since then, obviously, every industry has tried to do what they can to adopt a little bit of cannabis here and there and try to get those cannabis dollars. But, you know, we were fortunate because our manufacturer was ready at the time, man, and it was just the timing wise. The universe brought us together, man.
Yeah, and shout out to the customers too. I mean, you know, cannabis sometimes gets a bad rap, but we have had nothing but great experiences. It's been, I mean, everybody has been really responsive. They really seem to kind of get what we're talking about.
Yeah, and there's a lot of productive stoners. People don't realize that. Like people like they get the persona of, oh, he's a burnout. He's sitting on the couch eating potato chips all day. I used to smoke and go play basketball for 6-7 hours a day. I mean, like that's the type of shit I was doing when I was younger.
You know, everybody's been smoking weed. Everybody knows someone that's been using cannabis in a medicinal or recreational way for the majority of their lives. The thing that's going on now is that there's a normalization to be able to talk about it. You don't have to be in the fucking closet. You can sit there and talk to your homies, figure out, because of this and because of my ailment, what could I do? You know, you have a chance to be able to get out and not throw up on each other and not have to be, you know, a designated driver, drunk person, you know, getting in fights and shit. You know, it's normalization of being able to talk and participate in it, you know, is something that I never knew was going to be a part of our generation, but it is, and we're fortunate.
Right.
So,
well, luckily, I mean, I can't believe it's been 10 years. 2004 was when Colorado made it official.
Yeah. January 1st.
Or sorry, 2014.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Dude, I was bud tending at the time, man. There was like lines of people, dude, just like it was when it's broken in any other market, you know, and just like miles and miles for months and months of people, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy though, because it's taken this long for other states to really like get on board, to see the type of money your guys' state's bringing in right off the rip. I mean, they're talking billions of dollars. But like New York, we've been, I say maybe 2.5 years now, 3 years, like recreational. And it's funny too, because you only know like the people you know. So you see the people smoking growing up, it's the people you hung out with and other, you know, whatever. You never really seen like the people's parents smoking, or, you know, their younger brothers are now smoking, or you know, doing edibles, whatever they're doing, cannabis. So like you go to the dispensary up here now, and I'm 40 years old, and sometimes I'm the youngest person in there.
Yeah.
And like some of these OGs will go in there and they're talking about, they know all the terpene things. They want this, they want this, they want this for sleep. They're talking about this level. And I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, like where have you been for the past 20 years? Like, you know?
Right.
But it's cool to see that it's just like getting normalized now. It's like, even with the pitch, putt, and puff, it was a stretch. Like I was nervous about doing it because it's, you know, I didn't know certain people would judge me. I didn't do video for the first year and a half. But then, you know, I said, all right, now it's time. So I just started doing the video, and it's becoming so much more acceptable. I really don't care anymore. Like, but I did. There was a point in time I cared with my job care and all this stuff, but now it's just who
Well, and
cares?
we're really
It's regular.
we're really in a fortunate position as well because we get to be kind of like the ambassadors between, you know, the old school hippies and all of the, you know, stoner etiquette and cannabis rights that, you know, have been beaten into our heads from the, you know, the Woodstock generation and stuff. And now we get a chance to be able to kind of like teach and bridge along the way with, you know, the legalization and the commercialization and the corporation of, you know what I mean, of it all. So to be able to try to keep the rules intact in a way, you know, she's just a plant. She's all natural. She's medicine. She deserves to be loved and treated right. You know, there's a level of respect. I remember one of the first articles I ever wrote for the industry was for MJ Medicinal's magazine back in the day, and it was all about the respect. There was a dispensary early on that used to hire girls in bikinis with a little sign with a pot leaf and an arrow that way, and they just stand on the corner and flash themselves basically just to try to get some cannabis in it. You know, lady cannabis doesn't deserve that, doesn't need that. It's a medicine that the miracles that I've seen her perform, you know, having been within her industry for 16 years now, you know, she deserves this level of respect that I think that the whole nation kind of could adopt and you know, adapt to, you know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. That's it's good to see though. It's really good to see, especially like up here, how far it's come along in the past in such a short period of time. So
your market is exciting. Your market's super exciting. It's funny to see like how long it's getting to get everything rolling out there, because you know, really all you're doing is getting rid of the pizza. Like you don't have to order pizza to get weed anymore, dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? You
Right.
can just go to the pop-up shop can be totally legit now. You know what I mean? Like you had all the infrastructure in place, and now I think it's just been such a taboo out there that to be able to kind of get, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into making sure that it's properly regulated and fair on all ends. You know what I mean? And like, you know, there's a lot of hours that your market naturally has to go through in order to achieve certain levels of maturation in a way. You know what I mean? But it's surprising that New York isn't just. I mean, it wants to explode. You guys have been doing it for so long, and you know, the thing I'm mostly excited about with New York is I think you guys are going to push the import-export, you know, part of the whole industry, because it has to happen. Like you can't have New Jersey and New York and everybody operating separately out there. Y'all are just five different.
We're on top of each other.
Together, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They have to. Eventually, it's going to be too hard not to. It's Massachusetts, like everything. Like I'm a stone's throw from Massachusetts. Maybe 25-minute drive, 30-minute drive to the border of Massachusetts. I can pop over a dispensary over there anytime I want.
Right.
So it's like they're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah,
with
somehow
just the growers
that consumer's
and everything.
To stop at the bridge, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
What's what's consumption like on the courses?
So with it's funny because you always noticed it out there, like everybody used to be like, oh, Rods and the boys are out there, but now it's different. Like for example, I was playing just the other day, and I went out. One of the guys I was going to play with bailed on me, and something come up, so I was still going. I was like, you know what, I got the day, I'm going to play, and I got paired up with these two younger kids. They were probably maybe 21, just in college. And I could tell they wanted to smoke. Like I could tell, you could tell these kids, they got the backwards hats. They're chilling, like they're having a good time.
They're jonesing and wiggling. Yeah.
So we get to the third hole, and I'm sitting there, and I have a towel like this one here behind me, a black one, and it was folded over, so they couldn't see the smoke and everything, and the Pitch Putt and Puff logo. And I get to the third hole, I hit my tee shot, I walk back to the cart, and I fire up a joint. And this one kid looks at me and he goes, "Oh, thank God, man." I go, "What's up, dude?" He goes, "Oh, dude, we were dying to smoke. We didn't know your vibe, dude. Like, I didn't have like the Dutch Master hat on or anything like that." So I was like, I'm like, "Dude, you're good, man." He's like, "Oh, bro, it was going to be a long 18 holes, man, if I couldn't smoke out here." I'm like, "Bro, you're all good." I said, "It shouldn't matter. Whoever you're with, fire one up, man. They don't like it, go drive the cart on the other side of the cart path or whatever. Who gives a shit?"
Right.
Yeah.
But you see it a lot, though. I'm seeing it with older people as well, too, which is surprising. I see a lot of I see a lot of the older people I know though do the edibles or taking the low dosage gummies, taking the 5s and the 10s. That seems to be doing the trick. The flowers still like you see the younger guys, you see the joints. Some of the younger kids are coming out with the blunts and stuff still. I'm too old for that. I can't handle that no more. But it's out there. It's definitely out there on the golf course for sure.
It's good to hear. I know that the East Coast has been, golf has been kind of something along with music that is kind of like part of the community in a way. I know you had Shannon from Cannabis Golf League on, a while back. She's a friend. She puts on some of the different golf events as well. You guys had a great conversation.
Yeah, she's cool. Good people.
she's a friend, and they're crushing it. And to be able to normalize different, activities that everybody's kind of on the DL been doing anyway, but now you can kind of like go out and actually have fun. It's cool and it's important to be able to celebrate, that normalization in those ways, Yeah.
I'm hoping to do something with her next year. I'm thinking late spring, early summer. Also tie Rihanna into it with whatever she's doing, because she's obviously plugged in with everybody. She hooked us up, Rihanna from New Moon Cannabis. She's working with Hempworth now. So like I'm hoping to get something really going to where like I can tie everybody. I want to tie a lot of people in and really make it like a big event, but I want to plan it. I want to do it the right way and don't want to rush into it and try to do something like in the fall where it's a mess. I'd rather wait and do it right. Get all my ducks in a row, as they say.
We're definitely in.
All right,
we got to get all the golf people
together,
dude. There's enough people that have been, in the cannabis industry that are now in golf or vice versa. We just got to get all you guys together and share a blunt, man.
That's it. I have a course that in mind that I think would be absolutely perfect for such an event. It's got a nice little setup where we could set up vendor tents. Like I have a couple clothing brands I work with. They could come out and set up a tent. We could have like different at every hole have someone set up and bring out like one of the Canon things for a long drive thing. Like I have some things in mind just to make it cool. Have one of those like a huge, you got to take a huge bong rip and then spin around 3 times and tee off or something stupid, just to do stupid things, change something different, something we don't have up here. That's the thing. We don't have it. So whatever I do is going to be the first time it's really up here kind of thing. So, got to make it interesting.
Yeah.
The pinnacle of all of the golf programs that I've been able to be a part of with the Charms, because lots of the different states are doing it and stuff, but we actually were fortunate enough to be able to make some of the vape charms for Revenant, which is Jim McMahon and Kyle Turley's brand, cannabis brand. Jim McMahon, Kyle Turley, NFL guys. So they did last year. They did or was it might have been 2 years ago now when Phoenix hosted the Super Bowl. And they had like all-stars, dude. So yeah, like Eric Dickerson and like Warren Sapp and all these cats that rolled up, and it was like NFL, Hall of Fame almost, like just a golf event that everybody was also and Jake Plummer was there too. So there was a little bit of medicinal mushrooms talk too.
Yeah, Jake.
That's a different conversation though.
Jake Plummer, man. Yeah, dude. It's crazy too, even with the athletes. Like college football, they're not testing for cannabis no more. They just announced. So that's huge. Like just for recovery purposes, even on the medicinal side of it. It's not just because they want to go smoke a blunt with their boys. Like just my back's killing me. I'm sore. I can recover a little bit faster. Get to actually go to sleep. Yeah, relax. Big difference.
I used to talk on my podcast about all we ever needed was one professional sports group, whether it be MLB or NBA or NFL or anything, to jump on board to help the legalization. And honestly, ever since the NFL took the steps that they did, it's led to, leaps and bounds of progression, with not only Jim McMahon, Kyle Turley's doing, Ricky Williams got his own brand, we got
Ricky,
Calvin Johnson's doing his own
Pac-Man Jones,
we got all these cats that are kind of starting to throw in their support. And, the biggest reason is one of the reasons why the Oklahoma market is thriving right now is because these athletes would go and get hurt, making their money, go and get hurt, and they get turned on to a pharmaceutical, which all it takes is this, and then all of a sudden you're popping some more, and you're popping some more, and you're popping some more, and then you're used to it, creates a habit, instant habit, then you're, opioid addicted or whatever the case may be. And all of them are starting to realize, just like when I was in the military, they would just throw down pills and pharmaceuticals, and that has its time and place. Being someone that's been fighting the green fight for 16 years, I don't really do the pharmaceuticals unless I super need to, dude. My knee's been in pain for the last year. I'll throw some pharmaceuticals down. But guys like Ricky Williams, you know, they got kicked out and suspended because he wanted to manage his own pain without having to go that, you know, evil powder route.
He really made a, you know, a big he opened the doors really from what he did.
He was a pioneer on the whole thing, dude. I've got a chance to be around Ricky probably 3 times now and have a decent conversation. Every time I do, I thank him. I don't even care what else comes out of my mouth, dude. Like, thank you for fighting what you did, sacrificing what you did, and being the man, you know, going on the spiritual journey to be able to teach us, dude, because you're normalizing. Like, guys like that are putting their neck on the line, man, like nothing but love, mad respect, dude. You know,
that was one of the best 30 for 30s too on ESPN, the Ricky Run.
Yep.
You guys both said you golfed a little bit, so I'm going to wrap this up with 3 questions, but I'm going to mix it up a little bit.
All right.
So what's your favorite club in your bag? Favorite golf club you got in the bag?
You want mine?
Yeah, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah.
Mine's a 3-iron, man. Mine's my 3-iron. I'll tell you straight up because my drive is okay. Like, I can hang, but I'm not very good at driving. But my 3-iron, regardless of power, I can get a real good chunk of distance, dude. And I, for some reason, I always hit that one straight. I can't figure out how to slice it or hook my 3-iron, dude. It just usually goes straight for the most part when I'm concentrating, right?
Okay. Yeah, right. All right. What about you, Rob?
Man, I haven't even played enough. What, my putter? Is that a terrible answer?
No, that's a great answer. The putter, man, you could save a lot of strokes with the putter. That's
right.
Sure.
That's right. Fix a lot of mistakes.
Yep. That's probably my 7-iron is probably my favorite like iron or club I have to use. My putter is right up there with my favorite club. I save a lot of strokes with my putter. I actually had like my round the other day last week for my league match. I had like 4 or 5 putts over like 12 to 15 feet that I was just burying it, like consistent, like downhill, like tough putts, like a lot of undulations, so that they were moving a little bit, and it made I made them, and I was like, holy shit, this putter's. I went to my buddy, I was like, you want to hold it? He goes, well, I go, careful, it's hot. You might want to put an oven mitt on. You know, so
I can honestly say I have no idea what it's like to have a hot putter, dude. Like, ever in all of the games I've ever played, all the rounds, never once experienced a hot putter.
Yeah, my driver's a mess. If I could get my driver together, I'd be a really good golfer, but I can't get off the tee at all. And then what's your favorite strain you ever smoked?
Go ahead, Rob.
Chem Dog.
Okay, Chem
It was
Dog.
a great one. Got turned on to it. I even forget what I was there to get, and man, that was so much fun.
Chem Dog.
Yeah,
I love Chem Dog. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I always put mine into my old bud tender language, which is a 60-40 sativa dominant, just a little bit higher on the sativa side of things. It's this nice little pocket of strains, like Sour Diesel, the Chem Dog that you mentioned, a headband, like a flow, maybe even a nice train wreck, but right in there, just that gassy, like bite in the tongue and like feel, get that body feel, but also have that nice little heady that you want to go get shit done.
Yep. Yeah, I'm always a Sour Diesel. New York Sour Diesel, man. I always.
You can't deal with better than Sour D, man. Like my first dispensary, we would get an exclusive. What did Rihanna call it? Legacy grower Sour Diesel on our shelves that somehow fit into metric and stuff. Man, that shit would go for however much I wanted to charge for it. Whatever. Yeah.
That shit was so good, man. Back in the day, it's gone now. I haven't seen it in years up here. Just gone.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of those land races and just, hybrided them up and tried to, rock star them out and put their name tag on it. And then it all, fades away. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
so
fucked it all up.
Can't wait to get more land race back someday, somehow.
So if there was, wrap this up, last question. If there was one person you could smoke with, who would it be?
Alive or dead, doesn't matter?
Don't matter.
Go ahead,
say Rob. Ray Charles.
Ray Charles, okay.
Nice. Right. I'd probably say Marley, dude.
Okay.
I've been to Jamaica. I've been to his museum. Like, I've enjoyed his music. His kids are cool. Like, but to have, like, he was just a little bit ahead of my time, and I never had the chance, you know what I mean, to even see him. So
yeah, I heard that. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard that movie was awesome.
Yeah, it was surprisingly well done. The actor, I think, kind of portrayed it well. It's a really complicated story to tell, but
Right. Oh yeah.
So
crazy.
Right. How about you?
Yeah, mine would be. I'm a big basketball guy. I grew up as a basketball player my whole life, and Jason Williams, White Chocolate, used to play
hell
for like
yeah,
the
dude.
Sacramento Kings and the Miami Heat. That's my guy, and he's a golfer now. He's always on golfing, bunch of podcast shit. So that's my dude. So it'd be him.
That homie had some skills, though, dude. Like,
dude.
you know what I mean? Like, that would be an unbelievable conversation, dude.
Just the way he played, like there was so much stuff that like I did in a similar way, or like I would even like the elbow pass when he did that. Yeah. I had a little spot down in my basement. I would just go and dribble and bounce the ball off the wall. And I sat there for a good 20 minutes, half hour straight, just trying to get that coordination to it. And then I seen a video that he like explained how to do it, and it made so much more sense. And I did it once in a game and got my ass ripped off the court so fast, my coach was ready to kill me. Well, it wasn't successful. That's why he was pissed.
Only White Chocolate can pull that stuff off.
Yeah, we were up like 25 points with like 3 minutes to go. So I said, I'll give it a shot.
Jason Williams was cool.
He was the man. But hey, guys, I really appreciate you guys jumping on. I appreciate the samples. I know the boys were asking, where did you get that? Where did you get that? So why don't you let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. We're at twisted.foot.com or twisted.foot on Instagram. And we can't wait to thank you so much. I meant to say thank you so much for having us. This has been a blast.
Absolutely. Great time. Great conversation as well. Appreciate you guys' time, and make sure you guys go check them out at twistedfoot.com. And talk to you soon. Later.
See ya.
Appreciate the boys jumping on. Rob and Chad from Twisted Foot. Really cool guys, really knowledgeable about the industry as well as what they do. These things are cool though. They got a bunch of different ones. Slide them right over your cartridge. They got the select, the magnet right to the cart, as you see here. So check them out. And then you got the lighter. This one's got the yin yang on it. Goes right over your lighter. Use this as a ball marker. Pretty dope. So thanks for those guys for jumping on. Also, I got to give a quick second, give a shout out to our sponsors. We got 420 Bliss located at 740 Hoosick Road in Shore, New York, right up in the Walmart Plaza. Make sure you stop in there and check them out. Don't forget to check out the app just a little higher. When you're on there, make sure you are at the 420 Bliss location. And let them know the Pitch Putt Puff Crew sent you. Trouble Off the Tee, troubleofftheT.com, promo code RGB for 15% off site-wide, and then promo code PUFF for buy one, get one free on the polos. And last but not least, we got golfercbd.com. Use promo code PPP10 to save yourself 10% on gummies, topicals. They have the recovery cream, the performance spray. Make sure you go and check them out at golfercbd.com. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will talk soon. Later.